WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Good to be back in studio with you.
Oh, you said it.
Alongside Lucas DeSangro, back for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You're like that Mexican magician, you know, the one who said that he would disappear on the count of three, and he said uno, dos, and then disappeared without a trace.
A little late with the rim shot, but that was very good. Very good.
It's because I'm trying to do multiple things here, and I'm in the midst of a marathon here today.
Oh, yeah, you said it. I mean, I can't compare my shift to yours because you're working 12 hours, but I was up at 4:50 this morning. 4:50, actually, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
All right there, Foxwell. Settle down.
Whoa. Whoa. Somebody's, get a couple of weeks off and...
I'm tired, all right? And that's a drop.
We're off to a rousing start here.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. We're both exhausted. This is going to be such a train wreck. It'll be hilarious.
Well, one thing that wasn't a train wreck, in the words of Vince McMahon back around this time in 1992, what a SummerSlam!
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
But you weren't as much of a fan of it?
I liked it. I enjoyed it for the most part. There was things that I think could have been switched around, but for the most part,
you mean the match order?
Match order, maybe. Like the one thing, I don't want to come off as I don't want to criticize a company,
But
well, no, it's like I don't want to criticize their decisions because I am not far enough to where I can, say I could make the same decision. I just don't know. I feel like it's my feeling. I feel like that one of the world titles should have main evented. That's the one thing with me. That's really the only thing that can...
The traditionalism, I guess?
Yeah. Like, let's put it this way. If Lesnar Orton had it ended the way it ended, then I would have been fine with it. But just... Lesnar's one of those guys that's a little bit unpredictable. He got a little wild with those elbows, and Orton got busted open really bad, and they had to stop the match. I'm almost positive that wasn't the actual ending of the match.
Well, it was because we saw it.
That wasn't supposed to be. I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to be the ending to the match. Another thing that's disappointing is, Finn Balor wins the title, and then after that...
Yeah, he had to vacate the title due to injury as he tore his labrum during his match against Seth Rollins.
Also, the fact that I completely sucked with predictions. I think that's the other thing.
Oh, okay.
That's another thing.
And the Dean Ambrose... You were just a hair under 500 for the event. You're still well over 500 for the year, so...
Yeah, true.
Perspective.
Yeah, true. And I was actually a little bit disappointed with my boy Dean's match.
Well, I think that's part of why it didn't go on last is because I don't think that there was a lot of juice for Dean Ambrose against Dolph Ziggler.
They were actually building it up really well on SmackDown. For the most part. I feel like it should have been Rollins and Balor that should have main evented. I mean, I know that's maybe a bit of a stretch for me. That's how I feel. I don't know if that would have been the right move. I don't know what went into people, making that the main event. For me, it's, I know Balor's new, but it's, it's a new world title. And I think it would be a big deal to have it main event SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, the problem which WWE, it almost seemed like it came across in doing so anyway, is that it made the new shiny red title more important and prestigious than the title that has been in the company's history for 53 years.
True, but a lot of people in the company are not. Well, maybe not in the company. A lot of people that you know, I'm pretty sure Dean Ambrose isn't exactly in good term. After the Stone Cold podcast, that could have been some sort of punishment or something like that, because that was awkward as heck.
And if anybody would know something about awkward, you and I certainly would.
Yeah. For me, it's well, maybe it's not to put over. Maybe it's to try and put over this as, hey, it's a new world title. This is a pretty big deal. Like, we're not bringing back the big gold belt. So we're trying to. I think it was the point to put that title over, not as much as to put over the world title that we already have, because that doesn't need to be put over. That's the world title. Mm-hmm. But this is like a new one that they're trying to, make prestigious.
My retort to that would be, considering the naming of it, when you think of a world championship, isn't a universe larger than a world?
Yeah, I'm not too crazy on the name, but again, it's not my business.
Not your choice.
Not my choice, not my company. I'm in no shape or no position to judge them on that, Pretty much, I'm disclaiming everything I have to say that personally I didn't like, but I'm just going to disclaim that doesn't, but at the same time, it's not my choice to make. So, yeah.
You're trying so hard to cover your backside. It's
Yep.
a little entertaining.
I'd say it's very entertaining.
Okay, it's very entertaining. I was downplaying it. But SummerSlam, I thought, was entertaining, despite the lengthy number of matches.
I think it was one of those pay-per-views, again, where I think the women's match stole the show.
The six-woman tag?
No, not that one. The women's title match.
Okay, Charlotte and Sasha Banks.
The women's tag match is not the women's match. You know which one I'm talking about. I mean, it was pretty cool. I was actually really happy that Nikki Bella got, like, a really big pop when she came back.
A nice ovation.
Yeah, because it's one of those things. She really is like the most, and she really stepped up her game the time she was women's champion, and she. I feel like I'm just really happy she got a good reaction, because for a while the Bellas weren't exactly popular with the fans, and not even in terms of like a heel face sort of thing. In terms of just like,
just go away, we don't like you kind of thing.
They had like X-Pac. Go away. What was it, like 2002 Go Away Heat or something like that? Wasn't that the term?
Yeah. I mean, that's the term. I mean, that's another argument that somebody else can certainly make, and they can do so via the phones at 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149.
Yeah, true.
Ask and ye shall receive. See, there's no Ted here, so I know you're going back to your roots and actually picking up the phones there. Let's see if you remember how to do it. It's been so long.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, he's going to go do that. Meanwhile, taking a look at SummerSlam. First of all, the 12-man tag of American Alpha, the Usos, and the Hype Bros beating the Vaudevillains, the Ascension, and Breezango.
From what I saw of it, I mean, I didn't really get to see a lot of it actually. But American Alpha is one of those teams that are just very they're really catching on. Like Trail of Fire, I guess.
I guess.
So tired. It's not even funny.
You're just moving your lips and face at this point. Gotcha. I was going to say, we don't need to give necessarily an in-depth breakdown of all the matches. Your boys Sami Zayn and Neville beating the Dudleys, and how about their departure, I guess, from WWE, or saying goodbye, or basically doing everything but using the dreaded R word of retire?
Yeah, I was going to say, if they were actually, something tells me they're not actually saying goodbye yet, because why would them saying goodbye end with them getting their crap kicked out of them?
I don't know. It's an excellent question.
Although I will say this, I'm very happy that Sami Zayn was put in that tag match, because I was just, the one thing I was worried about that before that pay-per-view was like, what are they going to do with Zayn? I didn't think he was going to get,
Fair enough. And the third pre-show match, the best of seven, the first match of the best of seven series, Sheamus defeating Cesaro.
Yeah.
But it's still a long way to go, as best of 7 series is tend to be.
Yeah. Let's hope they can keep it, interesting for the fans.
Absolutely. And
One
then
of the
getting
with best of 7 wrestling, I feel like it depends on. It's one of those things with the fans, they could get really tired of it.
Absolutely. And then getting to the main show, this is where both of us were less than stellar. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens beating Enzo and Cass. So much for the hometown.
Yeah, that surprised the heck out of me.
I think it surprised a lot of people. Charlotte beating Sasha Banks. That was another surprise to win the women's championship.
Yeah.
Although there's reports of, there have been a few different reports, some allegations, and the latest report is that apparently Sasha Banks is dealing with an injury. And the injury bug is biting WWE once again.
Please don't. Can this not be a thing? Can we please have just, an entire... Can we just have a healthy roster? Please? Is that too much to ask?
Well, I mean, it is a dangerous sport, as they say, it ain't ballet.
True, but doesn't mean that injuries should be happening. Injuries can happen at any time. It's not injuries can happen all the time. Yeah.
Fair enough. The Miz beating Apollo Crews to retain the Intercontinental Championship, and we'll get into the Miz coming up in the next segment, because he certainly had some choice things to say on Talkin' Smack this week, and we'll play that whole transcript for you and get your reaction to that. AJ Styles pinning John Cena.
That one got me by surprise, but I know I wanted Cena to win. That was who I picked. I'm actually glad Styles won. He sort of won me. That match was, dare I say, phenomenal. And
I think he just did.
Yeah.
Also, the Club beating New Day by disqualification, as we got to see Big E back after his
ring post-itis.
Ring post-itis, yes. That's it's amazing how they have managed to work a storyline surrounding Mahoney's.
Yeah. And Jon Stewart.
Next topic.
Yeah, I was gonna. I did think it was fun watching him dance, but it's. He really didn't get a good reaction when he came to the building.
Maybe people were still salty from his involvement last year.
But he helped Seth Rollins win. They were cheering him at first, and now they're just like, boo! Because it's Brooklyn. Because they're New York, they have to be harsh and hipstery, oh, it's not fun to root for people anymore.
Wow, it sounds like you just...
I don't like hipsters that much.
I was going to say, with the exception of the hipster part, it sounded like you just described our friend Chase, but... And you're biting your lip in...
I didn't say that. You did. Just remember that.
I own it. I'll gladly own it. And that's when the receipt will come in. Let's see. And then your boy Dean Ambrose retaining the WWE Championship.
You're
beating
darn
Ziggler.
right he did.
The 6-woman tag, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and filling in for suspended Ava Marie, Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
As you had mentioned, beating Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella. Finn Balor, we mentioned, beating Seth Rollins to win the Universal Championship to hold it all of a day before relinquishing it due to injury this past Monday on Raw.
It is important to note, though, that he is the only superstar, the first and only superstar to ever win a world title at their debut pay-per-view.
That is an interesting stat. Not counting the NXT network specials in this case. You mean the main roster itself?
Yeah. Otherwise, Owens would be. Well, I don't know if NXT is considered a world title. I mean, it probably is now, considering it's defended in Japan and all that, but it's...
Yeah, we'll leave that to the number-crunching statisticians, I suppose. And finally, Brock Lesnar beating Randy Orton by TKO as... Orton, he got busted pretty good wide open.
Good Lord.
How good wide open? Well, WWE announced that Orton required 10 staples to close the cut on his head suffered during that SummerSlam main event with Brock Lesnar. 10 staples.
That wasn't easy.
Did you really?
Yeah, you're done. Yeah, I did. I'm tired. That's my excuse.
I see. Oh, my. It's going to be one of those shows, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow, I am too sober for this show. On that note, I think we better take care of our first time out. We'll get to Ed from Northeast Philly on the line on the other side of this timeout, and we'll also get into The Miz, because boy, does he have some things to say, or did he this past Tuesday? All that and more here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Buy your tickets now at SpectraTix.com. September 9th, kickboxing comes to New Jersey for Glory 33. Simon Marcus makes his second title defense in a middleweight rematch against Jason Wilness. Heavyweight champ Rico Verhoeven looks for a record 11 straight wins as he takes on Anderson Silva. A featherweight contender tournament. And Chai Lewis Perry looks to make it 4 wins from 4 knockouts. Plus, continuing action from the Women's Grand Prix tournament. 10 fights in one night. It's Glory 33 New Jersey, September 9th. Sun National Bank Center, Trenton. Buy your tickets now at SpectraTix.com.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, and we're celebrating the summer of shellfish. Celebrating items that made us famous. Our bread-dipping good crabs, delicious hard shell, Dungeness, and snow crabs. Our mouth-watering mussels, red or white, succulent shrimp, clams, oysters, and much more. Plus, special creations just for the summer of shellfish.
Every Sunday, enjoy mouth-watering crabs and spaghetti. And every Monday, enjoy piping hot, delicious family-sized mussels at all participating locations. Click chickiesandpete's.com.
Featuring something special every day. It's the summer of shellfish.
All commentators heard on WBCB expressed their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to PEMA.pa.gov and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by Ready PA, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
All of your favorite shops are still open while the new Dion Square is under construction. You may have already visited the brand new First National Bank branch or the new Pat Dion Beverages. When all the work is done, the new, beautiful Dion Square will also feature a new Pennsylvania fine wine and spirits shop and a brand new CVS pharmacy. In the meantime, all of the shops are open for business while the new Dion Square takes shape. 518 South Oxford Valley Road in Fairless Hills.
See, it's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so we might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
Breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
However, it's always fun here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro here, and well, we were talking SummerSlam. We've got some news and notes still to get into. Still actually quite a bit to get into, but we'll get back to that after we make our way to the phones. And Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, what's going on?
Good afternoon. Game Changer Wrestling Ashley Cup, October 22nd at the 2300 Arena in South Philly.
It's great that wrestling keeps coming back to the 2300 Arena. I know that... we got Ring of Honor going there. We've got
CZW goes there occasionally.
Yeah, it's nice
House
that they're
of Hardcore.
House of Hardcore. That's another biggie coming up. Not too far from now. A few weeks, right? Mid September.
September 17th.
It's only that's 3 weeks from today.
And they also have the Icons of Pro Wrestling there in the afternoon.
The Collector Fest, which. I was going to say, I'll have to check with the powers that be to see if that's something that we can make happen, because we're starting to hit that time of year of football season, and that usually means preemptions and reschedulings. And
I mean, we could always try to. I don't know. Could we just record a thing from, like, just? Would there be a way that we could record an episode from there?
I don't know. We'll have to look into the logistics of it and chat with the powers that be and see what can be done there.
Yeah.
It starts, I think, either 9 or 10 o'clock. I didn't actually look at the time.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, we're going 1 week at a time. I do know for a programming note that next Saturday, we still have to figure out what exactly is going to be done, but I do know that in our normal time slot here, there, I believe, is a high school football game of the Bucks County variety. One of the Council Rocks, either north or south. I forget off the top of my head. But that'll be starting with a noon kickoff, so whether we will be pre-recording and on the air a little bit later, whether we will be live on the air later from the MFPW Arena, that is all yet to be determined. So I would say stay tuned to either the airwaves here or the WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page. And once I get an update, I'll let the lovelies out there know.
Wait, for you're talking about for the 17th?
Well, in this case, I'm talking about the 3rd, 1 week from today.
Ah, yes.
Because, yeah, there's no...
I was going to say, there's no Shack Factory show on the 17th.
That's correct. It's the 3rd and the 24th. Yeah. Anyway, Ed, I'm sorry, go ahead.
SmackDown live at the Wells Fargo Center, September 12th.
Tuesday the 13th, I believe?
The 12th, I think. I have it down as the 12th.
The 12th is a Monday, though.
Maybe I'll have to check that. I have it down as the 12th. Maybe I looked at the wrong...
The fatigue is catching, Lucas. You see this? It's not just you and I. Now apparently it's Ed from Northeast Philly as well.
Not my first mistake.
Stop the show. The showstopper is...
My first mistake.
Oh, well, we'll give that one to Matthew.
Have a nice holiday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're not too far away from that. All righty. Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll catch up with you next time we're in studio here. I want to say the 10th. That'd be 2 weeks from today, if my math is right here. That Neshaminy math that we're that I'm so eloquently known for.
Yeah. Well, that you're so eloquently known.
That's it. That I'm eloquently.
Way to fix it.
There's a little bit of speed off the old fastball, but at least it's still getting over the plate.
That's a valid point.
Most certainly. So, in some not so good news, a longtime pro wrestler needs your help. Not necessarily you specifically, but all of you out there, the lovelies. Longtime pro wrestler George Gray, who wrestled as One Man Gang and Akeem, has launched a GoFundMe page due to a horrific flood. I'm sure you've heard in the news about the flooding that's going on down in the Louisiana area, like most of the state, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a shame.
Unfortunately, One Man Gang was one of those individuals. He said, quote, "Thankfully, though our son was house sitting while I was in Georgia doing a meet and greet signing and was able to save all 8 cats, 2 dogs, and a lizard. However, almost everything my wife and I ever owned was ruined. All the beds, couches, appliances, electronics, clothes, basically everything in the entire house was destroyed while submerged for 3 days. A lifetime of wrestling memorabilia, wrestling videos, and family albums were among the most irreplaceable. Like most in our area, FEMA had declared our neighborhood a no-flood zone, and like most, we didn't have flood insurance. Our home insurance said they cover 0 zip nada of the damages. Any help you can give to get us back on our feet and our home livable again would be most appreciated. Thanks for your support."
Because FEMA, 10 years later, and we still believe them.
All commentators heard here on WBC. Yeah, you said that. I'm going to throw
and I'll
that
own
back
that
at you.
one.
You'll own that one?
But look it up. Same state, same thing, for the most part.
Just different system. It wasn't Katrina this time around.
Yeah, it was flooding, not a hurricane, but just not a lot of satisfying results in the end.
No, absolutely. Alrighty, let's. Where do we want to go? You know what? We'll get Joe first, and then we'll save our chat about Mike the Miz coming up in just a moment. But first, let's get to Joe from Hamilton, New Jersey. Joe, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Gentlemen, how you doing this fine Saturday afternoon?
Hanging in there.
Exhausted.
Good. All right, let me just touch on a couple things. First of all, Lucas, I love you to death, but I swear you should be wearing that WBCP disclaimer on a T-shirt, brother.
Can we make that happen, Fearon, please? Can we just...
I'll have to put that into Sean. I mean,
No, we need to make a Twitch claimer.
Twitch claimer?
A disclaimer. Just for everyday. Look,
the thoughts and opinions expressed are solely those by Lucas Twitch DeSangro and in no way reflect the
or just Twitch and no,
just Twitch,
and don't reflect on Lucas DeSangro the person. He's a nice kid, you know.
Well,
I'm trying to save face
I'll say
with
one
this.
other thing too, by the way. I guarantee you, whenever I call in this radio station, I won't ask any silly trivia questions because, well, first of all, I don't know any, and number two is
I
waste of valuable airtime.
Oh boy,
Thank you, Joe. I did a factory style chant that time. My bad.
All right.
You must be tired.
But to get down to business, I know you're going to touch on the Miz in a couple minutes, but just to get ahead. I don't know if you guys watch the extra stuff on the network, like Talking Smack and things like that, but I got to tell you, a lot of people are saying that this Miz promo was the best promo they've heard in a long time. I don't know if I agree with that part, but I will say it has to be one of the Miz's best promos of all time. That I will say. I mean, if I was, I'll tell you what, it almost seemed like it was real to me. Obviously, it wasn't, scripted like it always is. But let me tell you something. If this guy can go out there on the microphone and do that every single night, give the guy the belt. Let him have the belt. Let him keep the belt because this guy knows how to cut a promo. I think he's entertaining. Maurice is hot. I mean, what else is there?
You're right. The thing with me is
Without words.
I wouldn't say I was always a fan of The Miz, but I always liked how good The Miz was at, I'm not saying that I don't like The Miz. It's just, he was never one of my favorite wrestlers, but he's so good at being a heel. And people don't give him enough credit. They're like, oh my God, I hate The Miz. It's like, yeah, that's the point. He's doing his job. Really well, actually. That's why he's still around, because he's good at being a heel.
Yeah, he's
I think he likes
certainly
to do
had a lot of
stuff behind the scenes,
longevity.
too.
And the other thing is, the reason I feel like that, we're going to listen to this, I'm assuming, in a little bit.
Yeah.
The reason that he, the fans loved it so much because it wasn't a part of his character at all. That sounded like something coming straight from the heart. It was passionate. It was fiery. It sounded like he meant almost every single word that he said.
And that's why people were invested.
But at the same time, it was also that it wasn't like him doing something about A-list movies or anything, which I think is entertaining as well, but it's just different. That's why people
gravitated toward it.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of wasn't a big fan of The Miz for a long time, but just like Dean Ambrose, I don't know, for some reason in the last couple months, I don't know if it's because of the split or whatever's going on, but a lot of these guys I didn't like are starting to really, I don't know if they're stepping up their game or whatever, especially Ambrose lately, but I got to tell you, in closing, though, I got to tell you guys, I mean, SummerSlam was great, the dual brand pay-per-view and all that, and the split's going well, I think, but to me, I think SmackDown is actually the superior brand right now. I just think the show moves faster. I mean, when you get a post show like Talking Smack, that's just as good as the show itself. You got something there, guys. And I just wanted to tell you that. And you guys have yourself a great night.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you, Joe. Appreciate the phone call as always. There.
To touch on that before we get into The Miz, the reason I feel like that people are starting to like Ambrose, it's because they have a separate platform to shine. It's like because SmackDown isn't taped, you can't get spoilers from Bleacher Report or anything. So you have, they made the right move. They make SmackDown legitimate again, and people need to tune in to watch both weeks. I mean, both days, and every week. I'm tired, and that's why it's such a good thing. That's why everybody's stepping up. It's not they're stepping up their game. They've just had more time. They're getting more spotlight.
Absolutely. And it looks like you've got some assistance as far as handling your merch here. John from Northeast Philly posting in the Facebook fan page, new merch, arrive, Twitch, leave, coming soon to the WWE shop.
I wish. I sort of... arrive, twitch, apologize, be awkward, leave. Repeat.
Yeah, no, that is as accurate as
And then just in parentheses, sorry.
Well, careful now. You're not Canadian, eh?
Yeah, it's true.
We tend to apologize a lot. Yeah, sorry for Nickelback.
Wait, Nickelback's Canadian?
Sorry for taking credit for them. Sorry for Bieber.
Oh, that's something we can't forgive. I apologize. I'm sorry that we can't forgive that. But
Right,
but it's
this
okay
bit
because
is
you gave us Mike Myers, Pamela Anderson, and Rush.
And Alex Trebek.
That too.
Ah, yeah.
And Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, a lot of people. Even
the Hearts. No, he was from Venice Beach, brother.
Oh no,
not
not that
deep.
beep. The other one from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Yes. Moving on quickly, safely. So yes, The Miz. For those who didn't hear it, here he was on Talking Smack this past Tuesday, and he certainly lived up to the name of the show.
There's no gentle way to say it. To me, you wrestle like a coward. You wrestle like somebody who's afraid to get hit. Like,
I wrestle like a coward.
You wrestle like a coward.
I'm the one?
If I were to create a wrestler who, to me, like embodies, like when I was an independent guy and I was thinking like, oh, okay, what's the soft WWE style? It would be that. WWE is transformed in the last...
Hold on. You had your chance to talk. You're the one that called me a coward in the wrestling ring. I'm the coward in the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
But let's talk about cowards for 1 second. Okay. The reason I wrestle the way I wrestle is because I can do it day in and day out all the time for 10 plus years. I have never in my career ever have been injured. I don't get injured for 6 months to a year. I am here each and every week. But you sit there and call me a coward? Yeah. I'm the coward. Wait, let me tell you about a coward. Let me tell you about a guy who tells his WWE fans, the people that he loves, that he will be back. He promises them. I promise you, I will be back in 1 year's time to claim this title. But you didn't, Daniel, did you? But I'm the coward. Okay, I'm the one that doesn't love the fans.
If they would let me come back, I would come back.
Oh, if you would?
Yeah.
You would. You love that WWE ring. You love wrestling. You love being right in that wrestling ring, and you love wrestling, right? Well, why don't you quit? Why don't you quit and go to the bingo halls with your indie friends?
Okay, I think you need to calm.
No,
that's not what this show's about.
The GM have this. Thank you very much, Renee. This is a great show, but we're talking here. I need to talk to you real quick because the fact is, you're the one that calls me the coward, but you're the one that doesn't get in the WWE ring again. No, don't you walk away from me, Daniel. Don't you walk away. I'm the one that loves the fans. I'm the one that loves everyone and everything. You're the one that gets up and walks away every single time. You're the coward. I am not a coward. I am your Intercontinental Champion, and there's a reason I am the title. Reason making this the most relevant, prestigious title that WWE has, and I deserve the respect on SmackDown Live. Get that camera right here. Get that camera right here. Understand that this is day 141 of the never-ending Intercontinental Championship World Tour, and I swear to you, I promise you, it will be the most relevant title on SmackDown Live. I could care less about those little kids on for the tag team titles and the Women's Championship and the WWE Championship. This is my show. My show. And I'm sick of all of you, my GM, sitting there criticizing me, calling me the coward. You're the cowards. I'm the one here day in and day out in that wrestling ring, beating people up. Thank you very much.
Wow. Take a listen at that.
Damn.
Yeah, where's Ron Simmons where we need him at the end of that? That's pretty much what that was.
Pipe bomb.
Yeah, that had very much moments of that, I would say, to a degree. Just it had people going, wait, did that really happen? Did they go off the script? As The Rock said when
off the script. The beep is good here in Miami or something like that.
Yeah. I forget what. Oh, that's what he was referencing. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to say that, so. I didn't say it.
Oh, okay. Just self-censorship. That's good. Very nice of you.
You're welcome.
Well, one thing that will inhibit the process of self-censorship is having too many at the Broken Goblet Brewery. The summer's almost over, but things are definitely heating up there at 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Tonight is a fantastic mix of hot times and cold beer as Kinky Quizzo returns to the B-Gob. No reaction to Kinky Quizzo.
Never played Quizzo, let alone Kinky Quizzo, so.
Oh, well, maybe you can head on over there tonight and...
I would love to, but I'm going to...
Oh, that's right. You need to sleep or something.
That, and then I'm going to see Christopher Titus later tonight.
Oh, that's right. That is tonight, isn't it?
One of my favorite comedians. Finally get to do it. Finally get to see him. Yeah.
Well, excellent for you, sir.
Thank you.
In that case... You out there, the lovelies, can certainly join me, as tonight is going to be very interesting with Kinky Quizzo. Plus, you can grab some of the pineapple sweet stash before it's gone for the season. And mark your calendar for Saturday, October 22nd. That is the date for Hoppy Halloween 3. I feel like I should say that in the Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Hoppy Halloween 3!
Yeah.
With that kind of, like, grimace in your face like you just sniffed something awful as Vince. Go back and look at the tape. Vince has a very interesting face as he says that. Anyway, it is a beer fest that celebrates the best libations available in Bucks County and the surrounding areas. And this year there will be more breweries, more music, more vendors, more surprises, and most importantly, more porta potties.
Woo!
Get your tickets early for this one, because the longer you wait, the higher the prices go up. And before you ask, this one's going to be a 21 and up event. Sorry, Lucas.
That's all right.
Boo! Yeah, I know. But that notwithstanding, it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Coming back, we've got a little more news to get into, including some more not-so-good news for the Beast Incarnate. Also, Seth Rollins voicing his displeasure on something, and we'll tell you what that is coming up. And, of course, birthdays along with the Brucey bonus. What will it be this week? Yeah, sorry, a little novel new concept that I forget if you were here for its inception or not.
Probably not, but I know what it's from, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, just a little well... For those who have missed it, we'll let you know that coming up on the other side. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob makes repairing your car easy. Rental cars are available, and a free courtesy shuttle is provided. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200. And now serving New Jersey customers at their new location on Route 33 in Hamilton. For 24-hour emergency towing, call 215-826-0250.
Buy your tickets now at SpectraTix.com. September 9th, kickboxing comes to New Jersey for Glory 33. Simon Marcus makes his second title defense in a middleweight rematch against Jason Wilness. Heavyweight champ Rico Verhoeven looks for a record 11 straight wins as he takes on Anderson Silva. A featherweight contender tournament. And Chai Lewis Perry looks to make it 4 wins from 4 knockouts. Plus, continuing action from the Women's Grand Prix tournament. 10 fights in one night. It's Glory 33 New Jersey, September 9th. Sun National Bank Center, Trenton. Buy your tickets now at SpectraTix.com.
Next time you head down the shore, make Keenan's Irish Pub your favorite spot. Located in the heart of North Wildwood, Keenan's Irish Pub is 25 1,000 square feet of wall-to-wall fun. There's live entertainment 7 days a week and an extensive menu that even features sushi. So grab a nice cold drink, listen to some live music, and enjoy a fantastic time at Keenan's Irish Pub. Keenan's is located at 113 Old New Jersey Avenue in North Wildwood, where all the neighborhoods still meet.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, August 27. On this date in 1990, the WWF held its SummerSlam pay-per-view. In the main event, the Ultimate Warrior defeated Ravishing Rick Rude in a steel cage match to retain the WWF Championship. On this date in 1994, ECW held the NWA Championship Tournament. In the finals, Shane Douglas pinned Too Cold Scorpio to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and then, after the match, threw down the championship.
Of Gary Von Erich, of the fat man himself, Dusty Rhodes, and Rick Steamboat, and they can all kiss my ass.
What in the hell is he doing?
Because I am not the man who accepts a torch to be handed down to me from an organization that died, R.I.P., 7 years ago. The franchise, Shane Douglas, is the man who ignites the new flame of the sport of professional wrestling.
That's the ECW belt.
Before God and my Father is witness, I declare myself as the new ECW Heavyweight Champion of the World!
On this date in 1995, WWF held its SummerSlam pay-per-view. In the main event, Diesel pinned King Mabel to retain the WWF Championship. On this date in 2000, the WWF held its SummerSlam pay-per-view. In the main event, The Rock defeated Triple H and Kurt Angle in a triple threat match to retain the WWF Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, August 27.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon and Lucas DeSangro here, talking all kinds of stuff. How about that little look back at the franchise?
Yeah. That was, that's just one of those, he could have, it's one of those people I feel like he could have just skyrocketed to the top.
But he I guess, torched a bridge or two here or there, including the not played in the clip because the visual isn't exactly there, but the grimace that he says just at mentioning Ric Flair's name.
Yeah, why does he... What was this when he came to ECW? Was this before or after his WWE run?
Well, he had a run in WWE in '91.
Dean Douglas.
No. This was This is when he was just Shane Douglas.
So what was his beef with Ric Flair again?
Off the top of my head, I forget. I don't know what exactly it was, and that's probably another story that we can get into for another day. But a few things that we got to get into first, including the Nevada Athletic Commission issuing a temporary suspension of Brock Lesnar due to his USADA test failures leading up to UFC 200.
Well, wait, what sport is he being suspended from? UFC, I'm guessing, or?
Well, yeah, it's basically any kind of competition for the Nevada Athletic Commission.
So that means if he's in WWE pay-per-view in Las Vegas, he can't fight?
Well, that I'm not as certain about. I mean, the story doesn't exactly make it clear. MMA Fighting reporting that Lesnar failed for the banned substance hydroxychloroquine, which is an anti-estrogen agent, on June 28th and again on the day of his July 9th fight with Mark Hunt. Now, Lesnar's set to face a 1-year suspension, and I believe that is, in this case, just from mixed martial arts competition, and would likely have a formal hearing. Now, the World Anti-Doping Agency code reasons that there's a greater likelihood of hydroxychloroquine to enter an athlete's body inadvertently, So they offer more flexibility as far as the punishment that would be issued, and that the lighter suspension would make it more realistic for Lesnar to return to UFC than a 2-year suspension, which was initially suspected, would have.
I just can't imagine not. That's one of. I feel like that's really for UFC to suspend somebody for even a year. It's one of those things of like. That's. I feel like that's one of the. How do they make a living off when that's the case?
Well, that's the point. Is that the punishment is so severe that it's meant to discourage someone from utilizing illegal substances for doping.
But then at the same time, they don't have any. You can't fight anywhere else. You don't have any money to make. So then they're just gonna starve. Like,
well, that's the risk that you run if you do dope. That if you get caught, you could be dinged for a year, 2 years. Yeah, it's a high risk, high reward type thing.
I just think it's just.
You
like
think it's too severe? I
feel like it's just like fire them instead of like, like just release them instead of having them sitting on their butts for 2 years, because I don't know how else they can, unless they have sponsors. But isn't that only like, it's just one of those things of why not just fire the guy if you're going to suspend him for 2 years?
Well, see, I don't know the inner workings of the UFC contract, so I'm not 100% sure how that.
I was going to say, don't get me wrong, I understand they're trying to discourage and all that, and that's all well and good. But it's like they're suspended for 2 years. It's, they can't make any. I don't know how they would make any other money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Well, speaking of discouraging, Seth Rollins was rather discouraged and unhappy with the way the live crowd at SummerSlam voiced their displeasure with the new Universal Championship belt during his match with Finn Balor.
That's Brooklyn for you.
Yeah, he sent out a tweet, quote, "More important than a title's appearance is what it represents for the men fighting over it. You really let me down tonight, Brooklyn."
Yep. I even get upset with Philly fans when it comes to like wrestling. We can East Coast when it comes to like the hardcore East Coast wrestling fans, we can get really obnoxious. And it just bothers me.
East Coast fans being obnoxious?
Oh,
you don't say.
Right? Seriously.
Where's Tom Kennedy when we need him?
Oh.
That is a very, very old reference that one person out there might get.
I don't know. T-shirt's too tight.
Anyway, I've got one other tidbit here to get into, which this actually came in over the course of the last 12 hours or so, and I want to give credit. I first found this from a YouTube reporter and blogger Pro Wrestling Everything, and got support from WrestlingNewsSource.com. Again, appropriate credit where credit's due. But this involves something that you could say is unbelievable. Yeah, that's right. Apparently, Bo Dallas was removed from a plane for being heavily intoxicated.
I feel like the inspirational music should not be playing during, or if anything, it should just like a or something like that, because that's making it sound like it's triumphant to be.
Well, late shift host Stephen Bell posting on Twitter that WWE superstar Bo Dallas was removed from a WWE flight from the Dallas-Fort Worth airport to Mexico for allegedly being heavily intoxicated and exhibiting some extremely bizarre behavior. Bell heard that. Oh, you like that one, huh?
Bizarre behavior. I just want to believe that the person actually writing the article wrote it like that.
No, that was my editorial addition.
I know, but it's just fun to believe it sometimes,
Of course it is. Bell heard that Dallas, quote, very loudly, or that Dallas was, quote, very loudly singing the Lion King song.
Which one?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
is it the Circle of Life?
Can you feel the love tonight? The Circle of Life?
I was
Hakuna
say,
Matata?
I was like, did Elton John just write the song track to that circle?
I don't know. But yes, was very loudly singing the song while he spoke to his wife. And then the situation took a turn for the worse when the pilot approached Dallas, who then proceeded to tell the pilot to go F himself. before telling everybody around him the same. And apparently, he also called Seth Rollins what we affectionately use here on the show as a Richard. Yeah. Safe for radio. Dallas was removed from the plane for being intoxicated. Police did arrive at the terminal, but there was no word on if he was formally arrested, though he was escorted from the airport.
These social outcasts are just getting picked off one by one. Seriously, this is bad.
Now, Dallas was seen drinking with the Usos and Charlotte in the airport bar prior to their departure to Mexico.
Oh, so he's going to miss out on that fiesta. Or siesta, I forget what a siesta.
Fiesta is party, siesta is what you are in dire need of, sleep. More so a nap, but... Yeah, so I guess more on this story as it develops. I mean, this is...
I think this is fantastic enough.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how much more can you necessarily go with it?
I'd welcome it, but I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure. So a couple of little tidying notes to let you know of there, or out there as well. Another couple of appearances coming up for George's Cards and Collectibles. Saturday, September 10th from 10:30 to 12:30. Former WWE superstar and leader of the Exotic Express and one of those aforementioned social outcasts, Adam Rose, will be at George's Neshaminy Mall location. And just recently added, on Friday, September 23rd, former WCW diva and Macho Man Randy Savage valet, Gorgeous George, will appear at the Neshaminy Mall location. George's Cards and Collectibles has been the leading collectibles store in the tri-state area for over 20 years. They have 3 locations. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, as well as in the Willow Grove Park Mall and in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing. Get the latest info on George's Cards and Collectibles at their website, georgescollectibles.com, as well as through George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. And next Saturday is a great time to check out the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Why is that? Because admission to the event is free.
Free, you say?
Free. Something even you can afford. That's right. See your favorites.
He's not wrong.
Something. You're right about that. See your favorites from the MFPW, including Punisher Martinez, Leon St. Giovanni, Cody Vance, the Beast Cartel, and many more. It's free, and it's 1 week from tonight at the MFPW, presented by the world-famous Monster Factory, 541 Mantua Avenue, Paulsboro, New Jersey. The doors open at 6. The action starts at 7. Check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, plus at monsterfactory.org, and check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com. We've got a minute left. Time for...
birthdays! Whee!
That one's going to be a keeper. All right, I've got 4 of them for you. On this date in 1948, Robert Remus was born. The former WWF champion and 2004 WWE Hall of Famer known as Sergeant Slaughter turns 68 today, you maggot.
Only 68?
Yeah, well, I mean, you figure his title run, he was in his early 40s when he won the title back in 91. Where does the time go? On this date in 1952, Paul Rubens was born. The comedian, game show host, and guest star on Monday Night Raw back on November 1st, 2010, best known as Pee Wee Herman, turns 64 today. On this date in 1972, Dalip Singh Rana was born. The former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, best known as the Great Khali, turns 44 today. And on this date in 1973, Carlene Denise Moore Beground was born. Was born. The former 2-time WWE Women's Champion and ECW competitor, best known as Jazz, turns 43 today.
Isn't she also a WWE Hall of Famer?
No, I don't believe
Jacqueline.
That's Jacqueline you're thinking of. I have a comment that is not safe for air, so I'm going to withhold it at this particular time. And the Brucey bonus. Another birthday on this particular date that is outside of the world of wrestling and can pretty much go to any spectrum, and it's just something that I thought was interesting. In this case, in 1950 on this date, Charles Fleischer was born. Who's that?
Sounds familiar. The name legit rings a bell.
Well, he's a comedian, so that might be why he sounds familiar, because that's in your wheelhouse, as well as an actor best known as the voice of Roger Rabbit in the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, turns 66 today. So, happy birthday to all those involved. Next week, not exactly sure what we're doing. I don't know if we're going to be on the air live, if we're going to be live on tape, or if we're going to be completely preempted, because in 167 hours from now, there will be high school football action, yo. So we'll figure all that out. But for now, you know what time it is. No, not time for birthdays again. We just did that.
No clobbering time?
No, it's not clobbering time. Although as tired as we are, it might be slobbering time. No, play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock in Old Wales.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WB.